Falafel with Zelko is back, and we're on Capitol Hill with an old friend, Steven Severin, the owner of Life on Mars. It's located just off Pike and is a plant-based menu. Delicious drinks, cocktails, and good times. Amazing records you can buy or ask to listen on certain days. And some wonderful events. Become a hero by joining their Heroes Club. Learn more in this interview about that. It's a great spot. I'm inside of that club. Before heading to Life on Mars, I stopped by Garlic Crush, which is on Broadway, and picked up 2 falafel sandwiches. They had lots of other choices, but that's the whole thing with these interviews, so grab them. Mine was spicy. Steven's was not. It was delicious. Much fun to be had with Falafel with Zelko. Please enjoy the interview. And please remember to give this channel a like and a follow. I'd love to share more of my Falafel with Zelko interviews with businesses around the city or my neighborhood tours on For the Love of the Neighborhood. And if you have any real estate needs, reach out. I'd love to help you in your search. And now on to the interview with Steven Severin. I'm Kevin Zelko with Falafel with Zelko. Today I'm here with Steven Severin, owner of Life on Mars, off Broadway on Pike. Pike being, I forget Pike or Pine. The way I remember it is Pine with an N in it is north of Pike with a K in it. That's how my mnemonics work. But anyways, I'm here with Steven Severin, owner of Life on Mars. One more added note, Steven Severin is the first couch I slept on when I moved to Seattle, Washington, over 30 years ago, a long time ago, 28 years. But Steven, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Great. You got a falafel sandwich. We got it from around the corner at Garlic Crush.
Very good.
Steven, can you tell me how long you have owned Life on Mars?
Life on Mars, we're in 5 years, and June 1, it's 6, with, a year and change of being shut down for the pandemic. We were opened up like 9 months before the pandemic hit, and then wiped us.
A lot of momentum gone with that.
Yeah, we were killing it out of the gates. Like, it was really everything that we had hoped for. Everything was working really well. People were happy. This has always been kind of my dream bar. Like, I've owned other bars, I've built and created them, but this was the design that I always wanted. And it's just a matter of having my partners who wanted the same thing. And so we built this, which has been really, really fun. It's like our little clubhouse.
On that note, what's one of the aspects that really makes your bar stand out when we compare it to other bars in the area?
One thing is that, we consider ourselves a bar with food, and all of our food is plant-based. I just realized the other day with Plum Bistro going away, we're the only all-vegan place on the hill, which is just crazy. So that's a niche that needed for people to come in and to fill. The other big thing about this place is that it's all about music. From 4 to 6, you can come in, grab any of these records, bring them over to the turntable, and we'll play them. Which, to me, there's not much more fun being in a bar and like flipping through records to find what I want to hear. And that's been really great. And then the rest of the time, John Richards, my business partner, also KXP John in the Morning, him and I created a playlist of like 3,000 songs that plays all the other time. And we have playlists for when it's early, 4 to 6, and then another playlist where it's like 7 to 9. And then after 9's more upbeat and exciting and gets people dancing a little bit. But definitely, like, the two things are we're plant-based and we're music lovers. That's where our passions lie. And so we attract those people.
Very cool. With being on Capitol Hill, just off Broadway, with the Capitol Hill block party, how does that affect your business during that week?
When our first year that we had block party, or actually maybe the second year, we we did a bunch of events. Like I reached out to all of the artists that were playing Block Party, because having been a talent director for 20 plus years, I know them all, and said, hey, come down and check out my new bar. Like you're playing outside my doors at Numos and inside Numos and Barboza. Come check it out, which was really fun. But also it's really hectic. And so since then we kind of just have let it be more organic, and it does well. It does well. It's a really fun crowd, a little bit younger than what it usually is, because it's, we're a little older demographic.
Yep.
Like we don't have kids that turn 21 and this is the place they rush to. We would love that. I mean, we're very welcoming to anybody who wants to come in, like you're 21 plus. And so it's good whenever there's any events around the city.
Right.
So we invite like bands that are coming into town to come and hang out and have some dinner and drinks. Just people that we either have a connection with, we've worked with, and sometimes we'll have like a playlist that is akin to whatever that show is. Amble and the Sniffers is playing the Paramount, I don't know, month or two, and we'll do some kind of playlist that's all about Amble, Sniffer, and friends. To give people, like, as you're going to the show or right down the street along your way, come in and start getting excited. So having all of the events on the hill is good.
Yep. Now it's cool. And the other part of that is, now that we have public transit, from wherever you're at in the city, you can come to Broadway, walk here, and then walk on down to Paramount for your show.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
Good. Did Billie Eilish come here?
Billie Eilish did not come. I know her agent for a really, really long time, and we invited her to come down. We know that she's vegan, and her agent was like, appreciate the offer. It's very difficult to make things like that happen,
right.
Especially how huge she is.
Yeah.
But what she did do was she posted about us being a place to go if you're going to the show. Come before and have vegan food.
Awesome.
Which was crazy because it got so many eyeballs, so many hits.
That's awesome.
She's such Billie Eilish is such an awesome music figure that we have now that's different from all the other pop kind of stuff. Yep. And just like her connection to bringing community together really spells that out in her being like, okay, if you're vegan, here are these spots that you can go in the city that I'm playing. Yep. Which was really, really cool. Yep. And also kind of funny because we did her very first show at Numos opening for Ryex. So a little full circle moment.
Yeah. Steven, you also on Numos, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Just adding it in. No, I love it. Like Billie Eilish, like it's awesome. For me, it's that the kids are all right kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's nice seeing that next generation's doing what kind of our generation of old punks like did and coming today.
I love the pop artists that can bring the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obviously started much longer ago, but like Lady Gaga was one of the first people that was like a huge pop star, but wore her freak flag, and all the other kids that are younger, that are a little weird in school, that don't fit in with everybody else, made them feel empowered them to go ahead and be the weirdo, be the freak, and Billie Eilish has carried that on, and it's really good for society because the way things haven't been very good for us as a country. We need this next generation to help us figure this out because, look, us white men have been running shit for a really, really long time, and it hasn't worked. Mm-hmm. So why don't we try something else? I don't quite understand that, but
Yep. Are there any bars or restaurants that you enjoy frequenting or partnering with around Capitol Hill?
yeah, places I like to go. Like I've tried to make a bigger point uh, last year to get out and go to other places because I usually just go to my own places or like I don't go. You know, restaurants sure, but like bars, I don't drink near as much as I used to. So, um, but some of my favorites is Rumba. Next door to Rumba is a place called Inside Passage, which is this kind of like it's kind of a tiki bar. I mean, it is a tiki bar, but uh, it's really cool. It's really cool what they've done. They started designing it like during the pandemic, and every single thing is thought out. Like like there's a Sasquatch sitting on a wooden log that smokes, and it's this crazy like cup as well. Um, yeah, I love that place, and the guy that owns it he's great too. Corvus and Company up on Broadway, uh, really comfortable spot, great place. I do a lot of business meetings there when we don't do them here. I like to get out and you know connect with other people that are around, especially on the hill, and support the small businesses. Um, Sometimes I'll go to the Runaway. I mean, it's not the first place that I think of, but when I do, it's always a good time. Um, so drinking wise, those are probably the main spots. Restaurants, Kadai McCann. Oh my god, I love that place. I used to love it when it was down on Belmont or wherever it was, and could never get in. And now it's up there. I mean, the food is fantastic and it's great every time, and it's a huge menu. They really, really nailed it. I'm really, really happy for them. Um, what else? What else do I eat? I like taquitos. That's pretty good. Um, hmm, it's kind of strange because I went from like eating out 3 to 5 times a week to once, maybe twice.
Yep.
Just everybody sort of changed when the pandemic hit. It was a reset, and
Yep.
people came out of it with different patterns, different needs and wants, and I'm with it as well. Like
Yep.
I don't do any takeout delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't do it here at the bar. Like if you want stuff, you have to come here for takeout. I just hate the nickel and diming that the companies have done, and so I just don't do it. And it unfortunately it costs places money. Like I would get Ayutthaya delivered,
Yep.
or Utia actually. Um, that place is great, but I'm not gonna do that. Manau, the other great Thai place up on the hill, um, that we'll walk to because it's close enough. But I mean, there's so many options. I mean, whatever you want, it's here.
Yep.
Whatever atmosphere you want, cuisine, whatever it is, it's here on the hill,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I have lived on the hill for over 30 years now,
Yep.
which is kind of crazy thinking about it.
That kind of leads me to the next question. Other than bringing the globe back and those amazing biscuits and gravy, what's one thing that you think Capitol Hill could build on or improve on?
What could we improve on? Um, I mean, the Capitol Hill has changed so much throughout the years, and that happens in every city. Um, it just does. People want progress, and their idea of progress is to bring in more people, and the tech industry. Like it completely changed how Seattle is. The 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 income gap between the ones that have and don't have is getting massive, and the people that go to the places that I like are the people that don't have the money because they're the weirdos, they're the freaks, they're the people that create art and make Seattle what it is. A lot of the people that work in the tech industry, they just don't go out. Like they work a cajillion hours and it's just, not something they do. And if they do, it's Friday or Saturday. When you own a bar or a venue or restaurant, you focus on 7 days a week, paying rent 7 days a week, paying salaries 7 day a week. Like you need to be open to be able to make money. So, um, yeah, I mean, one of the things that has been talked about, and I'm crossing my fingers, is having more street ambassadors, like kind of a liaison between the police and the community.
Mm-hmm.
There's finally been some funding and some hiring is happening to just help with making the hill safer. I mean, nobody can shy away from the fact that this is not what it used to be in the 90s or 2000s. I will argue that it's not as bad as people think, but the perception is there, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Is the perception. So getting more of getting people safer, I think will help the hill as much as anything. I just want more places where people can have fun.
Yep.
I mean, that's what my job is. I give people an opportunity or a stage to have fun, so that you come in and you get away from your insurance job or coding or whatever it is that you want to get away from, and we're here to help you make that happen.
Well, great. Are there any amazing events coming up that you can think of at Life on Mars in the next month or two?
Yeah. So we have this thing called the Heroes Club, which was started because we've had a lot of windows broken at our place, and very few of them are trying to break in. There's been like 2 or 3 break-ins during the pandemic. It's mostly people that are mentally ill that just pick up a rock and throw it. They're not doing it for a reason. They just sort of do it. And so we created this thing called the Heroes Club because all these people were asking, how can I help? Um, and in the club, we do different things. And one of them is we have events. And we're going to have Deep Sea Diver come play and DJ in a couple of weeks. I can't remember exactly when that is. That is for the members of the club. We'll invite some other people outside of it, and if people know about it, cool. But we're not like promoting it as a thing. We want it to be special for our members. And they're playing the Showbox, and Jessica's amazing. They're such a great band. So that's coming. That'll be really fun. There's another really big event that's coming that I can't say because it's not written down. But that's going to be crazy. We have lots of get-togethers. I mean, one of the great things about the space that we have is we're sitting here in the vinyl room, it's a little bit separated from the rest of the bar. So you can have your 40th birthday party with 50 friends, and you have an area that's not private, but it's removed. And so we have quite a few of those. We've been focusing a little bit more on trying to bring in larger groups, partially because it's just fun. It's
What's the capacity of the record area again?
50
Great.
people.
Very cool.
So anything where it's like 25 to 30 or more, you get the lounge. And there's no cost. There's no minimums. After 50, you start looking at some other things because, sometimes people come in and they take over the whole space, and, you can't do that and be open to the public. Seems like there's some shows coming up. Like, I know Amel and Sniffers is going to play the Paramount month or so. And what we're going to do is before the show, we'll create a playlist that is Amel and the Sniffers and Friends. So, you know, the Viagra Boys and Idols and let's see, something else up there to jog my memory.
Not seeing out there.
Squid,
Right.
you know, just some cool stuff. So you kind of get hyped before going there.
Excellent.
And we do that all the time.
Yep.
I mean, we do that all the time, as well as we invite artists that are in bands that are on tour to come and eat. We feed them all the time. So when you come through, you never know. Like
Yep.
you're coming to get a drink and you look over and you're like, wow, that looks like the Black Angels. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Black Angels are hanging out here. And it's not something we advertise,
Yep.
you know, it's just like, it's just a cool thing. Kind of Cha-Cha used to do that. Like
Right.
you'd go into the Cha-Cha and you'd never know who was there.
Right.
You roll in and all of a sudden there's Slash sitting at a bar, you know? So, yeah, it's been fun. Kind of feels like we have fewer events right now than we normally do.
It's that time of year, kind of, where it's a little slower. But I just love the ability now with light rail to, I mean, because parking was always the hardest part. And then there's also the whole thing, like when you go out, you're going to be drinking.
Yes.
And so being able to take light rail from wherever you are, even if you have to go park your car to get to light rail,
right,
you don't have to park on Capitol Hill anymore. You're going to be taking time back that'll help sober up. And you know, you can come to an event, stop and get food at Life on Mars, enjoy the atmosphere, and then go to the Paramount or wherever your show is. And it's just so nice. Like it's nice to be in this point where we were 25 years ago and didn't have those options.
Yeah. When we first started talking about making light rail really actually happen, now the trick is we're working with the city to try to get them to extend the hours that it's open.
Right. Closes at midnight now?
Yeah. I mean, we needed to run another 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kind of excuses that they make, but we're finally making some headway to get them to understand that it's good for public safety. It's good to keep people from drinking and driving. People don't have the money to spend $50 or more one way to get here from wherever they live.
Yep.
So it'd be a massive boon
that would be
to
great.
the Hill in general. So we'll see. We've been working on it for a while.
Great.
Like I think FIFA and the World Cup is helping us get some things so that we can act like a world-class city.
Totally.
That we think we are.
Yeah.
But we need to act like it, and we'll see. That'll be pretty damn cool.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Well, cheers. Shall we cheers?
Cheers.
Falafel cheers.
Falafel cheers.